Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's up? God bless y'all. God bless y'all. Welcome in. Welcome in. We are at another episode of Ryan's Opinion. Don't matter. Hopefully, y'all having a blessed day. Hopefully, y'all having a wonderful day. And hopefully, all is well. Again, gun rights. Should convicted felons that have paid their debts to society have their gun rights restored? That's the question. I was watching a video and they was talking about it. Um, that the Trump administration is basically trying to give them a path to be able to restore their gun rights. And I think voting rights is included in that too. And these are people that are convicted felons, paid their debt to society, did their time in jail, whatever case may be, and got out. And I guess get out. I don't know every detail, but in a nutshell, this is what it's supposed to be. But we're going to see as people come in, and we're going to have a conversation about it. We're going to talk about it. And I'll give y'all my opinion on what I think personally. And y'all know, for those that been on my lives before and maybe watch at my channel here and there, already know that I think all gun laws are unconstitutional. I don't like when they start talking about banning stuff. I will not vote for politicians that are talking about banning guns, limited guns, saying you can't have this type of weapon, you can't have this type of weapon, that type of weapon. I'm totally against that because I personally don't trust the people in Washington whatsoever to the level where I would give them the ability to tell me what I can and cannot have. So that's where I'm at. The Constitution is clear. This right shall not be infringed. I mean, I go into all the other details, but the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed is the part that sticks out the most. So when politicians start talking about, oh, you should not, and what you should and should not have as it relates to a firearm, all gun laws, in my opinion, are unconstitutional. But I just want to get other people's take on how they feel about the possible the Trump administration basically giving convicted felons that come out of prison or whatever. Like I said, I don't know all the details, but we're just going to have a conversation about it anyway. Should they have their right restored? Voting rights. I think voting rights was in there too. And the right to be able to purchase and own a firearm after they paid their debt to society. Meaning they did whatever crime they did. They went through the process of staying in jail, whatever case may be. I guess whatever way they got out, whatever case may be. I don't know. But personally, I think it's a good idea. I don't think government should have any say-so and rather what type of firearm you should have. No, in any case. I don't care if you're a criminal or not criminal. I just think that the government, when you start writing gun laws, and this is where I always say, is that when you start writing gun laws, it does not affect criminals. If you say we want to make a gun law to say we don't want people to have automatic weapons, that don't affect criminals. Criminals are going to have automatic weapons. And we say we want to limit the amount of ammo you can have in a clip. We want to limit everybody to 5 rounds in your clip or 5 rounds in your gun at a time. How is that going to affect criminals? It's not. It ain't going to make a difference. They're going to have 30-round clips. They're going to have access to the stuff that you might not have access to. They keep acting like these criminals are, what's up, Christopher? How you doing? God bless you. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Appreciate you. Please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I know you are a subscriber, but you can still hit that like button. But yeah, that's where my head is at. Is that I totally, 100% feel like the government shouldn't have no say-so whatsoever. I think the Supreme Court, when someone starts writing gun laws or limiting what people can do have far as a firearm go, the Supreme Court is supposed to sit there and say, nope, can't do it. Doesn't matter. Can't do it. What's up, Lucky? How you doing? God bless you. Welcome in. Welcome in. Mike in the building. How you doing? God bless you. God bless you. Welcome in. Welcome in. Talk and talk. And you know what? And Lucky, here's the thing: is that the reason why I want to have this conversation because I noticed that they're doing, and I hopefully you saw the part that I was talking about, as far as restoring criminals and gun rights. And what I always tell people is this: is that when you give politicians an inch, they're gonna try to take a mile. So if you say they'll try to say, we need reasonable gun laws, right? All right. So here's my point to why I think their gun rights should be restored. And this is why I say it. And hopefully we can have a whole big dialogue on this because somebody might say something that I'm not thinking about. Is this? This is the reason why I say that. If they're never going to be able to stop criminals. If a person let's say somebody paid their debts to society, right? And you don't give them their gun rights. You know what they're going to do? If they really want a gun, they're going to go do it the wrong way. They're going to do it. By sheer nature, most criminals that have felony criminals that come out of jail, and once they find out they can't do it the right way, they're going to go get one. You're going to have to find out that they have one. But on the flip side, this is just my opinion. If they get out of jail and they have a passageway to get their gun rights restored, now they're going to have to do a background check. Now it doesn't mean that they're going to get a firearm at that moment, but they're going to have to do a background check. If they did a background check, there is a good indication that they have a firearm. If they actually went through the process and purchased a firearm. Now the government may know about it, may not know about it, but the government will know that they did. The FBI will know that a convicted felon, even though they have their rights restored, he used to be a convicted felon, he have his rights restored, but at least they would know that this person possibly have purchased a firearm, right? Possibly, because he went through the process of doing a background check. Background checks doesn't always mean that you bought them, but they did a background check, so you can kind of assume that okay, this might be for a firearm. Okay, now he has but at least you will have him going through the legal process where you have some type of track record of where that they got a gun, as opposed to not giving them no type of pathway and they go get one anyway. And this is just my point. The other thing is the Constitution is clear. In our Constitution don't say nothing about the convicted felon, not felon, this and that, whatever case may be, because although we look at convicted felons saying they did some crazy stuff or whatever they did, some people actually have a change of heart and become a better person. Yeah, okay. All right, appreciate it. Some people have a change of heart and actually become a better person. I mean, we sometimes we emphasize on the people that convicted felons get out and do a crime again, but we never really emphasize on the people that actually get out of jail and never commit crime again. And now here's the other thing. This is where I'm kind of going with this also, is that let's just say I'm a convicted felon. I got out of prison. I changed my life around. I'm a better person overall, right? But let's just say I'm not or I am. Either way. Why should the government have the right to tell me what I can and cannot do? Because what if at the moment I'm just getting out of prison and the government still decides to go tyrannical? So because I committed crime and I paid my debt to society, I don't have the right to defend myself against the tyrannical government? See my point? And that's the reason why I say, gun laws don't fix anything. They really don't. They don't stop criminals. Criminals are going to do what they're going to do. But the point that I'm trying to make is that I noticed that the Trump administration is putting emphasis on this. And I just wanted to see where people's thoughts is and how they feel about it and what they think. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a gray area in there that's just be like, even me had to sit back and say, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, you're a criminal, and then I kind of get Lucky's point of, what if it was a gun charge and, you did something, you shot somebody, killed somebody, stuff like that. So there is that uncertainty of, but But then I also had to think about, does that person still have the right to protect themselves against a tyrannical government? Because that's what being able to keep and bear arms really is. And it doesn't, we threw in other stuff like convicted felons and stuff like that. But when you go back historically wise, why that law was written, I'm quite sure that some of those people might have been convicted people at the time. Maybe not like we do now, but they probably committed some type of crimes too. But that still does not stop you having the right to protect yourself from government, because that's what it's for. And this is why when people start talking about the right to protect yourself from criminals and stuff like that, that's a byproduct of why we have our Constitution. The original intent of the Constitution is to have the right to protect yourself against a tyrannical government. So that's the reason why when I emphasize on this, the government should not have no say-so in your right to be able to keep and bear arms, whether it's a gun, knife, anything. For some reason we have allowed it. I don't understand why we will let the government, who has access to all types of crazy stuff, who has shown themselves to be about as irresponsible. There is no citizen in the United States of America that is more irresponsible with firearms than the people in the government. No. They the ones that are by far more irresponsible. My case in point, we still haven't found weapons of mass destruction. Right? Now, the government used firearms to go over there and bomb another country. Now, I'm not talking about guns like this, but you understand what I'm saying. They use airplanes, drop bombs, whatever case may be. People died because government made a bad choice. So these very same people wants to decide whether you have a right or not. That's why I 100% understand what the Constitution was written for and why it was written the way it was written. If you on this live, please hit that like button. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Appreciate it very, very much. But do y'all understand my point? Like, I get what Lucky was saying, and I kind of, I'm a little bit lean there where he was saying, and I get it. Like, okay. Right, and that was the point that I'm making is like, my thing is, as much as I don't want criminals to be able to have access to stuff like that, I can't the part of me just know what the government is like, how they are. I don't want them to have the right to tell nobody what they can and cannot do. I just don't, because to me, most government officials are criminals too. Top to bottom, hair and skin care, how you doing? God bless you. Welcome in, welcome in. Please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. If you're just getting in on the live, what we were talking about basically is the Trump administration is trying to make a roadmap for convicted felons who paid their debts to society to get their voting rights back, and I guess their right to keep and bear arms, which is being able to have access to a firearm. Garcia, how you doing, brother? How you feeling? God bless you. God bless you. So this is what the conversation is about. And my stance is like, that's why I said it's a little bit of a gray area with me. Right. And my thing is this, is that, most of us, we look at it from one side and say, oh, I don't think they should have their rights because they did something horrible to somebody, in case may be. But when you start talking about somebody who paid their debt to society, right? They went to jail, did the time they were supposed to do, they got out of jail. God bless you, man. And they got out of jail. But again, this is why when I look back at this thing, I'm like, man, these people were brilliant with the way they wrote it, because if a convicted felon gets out of jail and they going about their life getting it, and the government becomes tyrannical, they sit in ducks. They don't have a right to fight off the tyrannical government because of what they did in the past. That's why I said in my opinion, both don't go together. Like, I want government totally out of it. Like, I don't think government should have any say-so in what type of firearm anyone should have, because it's written against you. How you going to tell me and it's written against you? It's for the citizens to decide what they want and what type of firearm they want. It's not for government. Government is not supposed to have no say-so. That's why it says this right shall not be infringed. There is no clause in there. Oh, that's what's up. You know what, Jose? I know we on this live, right? But I really want to bring you in, and I want to figure out. I'm almost tempted to figure out how to do it right now. And if you're willing to come on, I think I might have figured it out somewhat, but I'm not exactly sure. But I wish I could figure out how to get you in here, man, because I really would like to get your perspective, like let you vocalize your perspective on this. Um, but I noticed that what was it, Ninja? I went to one thing to try to get it, and I should have put it in another, opened up another thing for it, but I couldn't. But I'm going to try. You know what, Lucky? I'm gonna have to find out because honestly, don't know. I really don't know where it started at. Honestly, so y'all please bear with me because I'm probably gonna screw something up real quick. I'm gonna try to get Jose in here. So y'all gonna have to bear with me because I'm a rookie. When I say rookie, I'm a rookie. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm gonna try this. And if I screw it up, I'm blaming y'all, not myself. I'm not holding myself accountable for none of the mistakes I made. I'm not holding myself for none of the mistakes I made. So y'all gonna have to give me a second. I'm gonna see if I can figure this out. All right, give me one. So y'all gonna please bear with me. All right, so yeah, I have no idea how to hold on one second. I'm trying to give me one second. All right, all right. So I'm just throwing some stupid name in here. Y'all hang in there. Chat with each other if you need to. Yeah, I don't know if I'm doing this right, but yeah, trying to sing it. Yeah, hold on one second. Can y'all see what I'm doing? Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to. Hold on one second. It's not letting me do this. Copy link. Bam. Alright. won't let me. Wait a minute. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to send it through a text. I'm trying to send a link, but it won't let me. It won't let me send it. Hold on. Let me get back out of here. For some reason, it won't let me. All right. Now I gotta figure out what it is. Maybe it won't let me do it. I gotta do it. I can't click it and do it. So maybe I can figure out another way. Yeah, I'm trying to send it now, Chris, for real. Just for real. Nope, not that. Alright, let me see if it let me copy. That one. Hold on. Okay, let me see if I'm doing it this way. Copy link. I don't know. It won't let me send it. Alright, Lucky, no problem, man. Thanks for coming in. But I'm still gonna try. Maybe I'm screwing this up, but man. I'm trying to put the link in the chat, but it won't let me do it. I gotta try to see if I can figure it out. Oh no. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I'm using the wrong one. Alright. See, Jose, see if you can. I'm gonna put this in the chat, see if that works. I don't know if this is gonna work. We'll see. I put it in the chat to try to see if I can get it to work with. Yeah, see if you can. I don't know if you're gonna be able to click me. Alright. Alright, I'm trying, brother. But, it is what it is. Hey, that didn't work out so well. Alright. Alright, let me try this one. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying anything, man. Yeah, I don't know. I know we're supposed to be able to do it this way, but I don't know why it's not working. I'm gonna figure this out one day. So I'm saying, I'm gonna figure this out one day. One two one two. Yeah, I don't know. It's alright. I just created a password. It was 1212. It's alright. I'm just trying to see if I get it to work. I can always go back and change the password. Yeah, the password I gave it was 1212. I think it was. Okay, we getting there. I see you. I gotta figure out. Give me a second, cause let me.
I think he's got it. I'm just trying to figure out.
I'm getting educated.
I think he got it. And I see you still. I'm not sure if you can hear me though.
I can hear you.
You can't hear me. Okay.
I
We
can
got
hear
no
you.
sound, no audio. Stand by. Stand by. Oh, check.
Hey, look. That's what happens when you grow up in the public
I
school
reckon
system.
you can hear me now.
I can see you. You can see me, right?
Hold on. I think we got it.
All right, I'm trying to I wanted to
We
bring.
got it.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure
We
out.
got a mic check.
Can y'all see Jose?
Look.
This is hilarious.
Yeah, I see you.
All right, I'm trying to I was trying to I'm trying to get it to where I can bring your screen up bigger, but it keeps giving me the other screen for some reason. Oh wait a minute, so I can see you a little bit better. Can y'all still see him?
It is simply fabulous.
I ain't gonna mess with too much because I might screw this up real. All right, cool. What's up, brother? How you feeling, man?
It's all right. Look here. As long as they can hear me, they can see my little head, I don't care.
Hey, man, look, this is a long way for me. This is a long way for me. Shut. I've been messing with this stuff up. That's better. All right. I was.
Chris says for real, it's a little better.
Yeah, I mean, I'll get better with this after a while.
Fine, brother. Thank you for letting me come on in and your live. I appreciate that one.
This is funny. But yeah, man. Oh man, it's good to see you, man. Good to see you. But
Look
yeah,
here now. Look here now. You get absolute A plus.
oh man. So I want to get your take, man. On what you think.
It's good to see you.
All right, let me get this stuff out the way. All right, good. Yeah, we gonna. But yeah, I wanted to get your take, man. Like, what you think, far as the Trump administration, its felonies, convicted felon, possibly. I mean, they trying to create a roadmap for them to get their.
You know, I think there might be a little feedback, but we're gonna try to make it work, right? Just in case.
Yeah. I mean, I know people that are felons, and that's one thing that the obstacle that they run up against. And I just, I have my take on it, but I just wanted to get. I'd rather get your opinion and see.
What the hell? What I done did?
I don't know. I can hear you and I can see you.
My bad.
No, you good.
My fingers did a whole lot of clicking.
Hey, look.
All right, hold on. Give me 30 seconds.
No, you good.
Well, look here. I'm not sure you can hear. Can you see me now? A little deuces would be good. All right. You know, it's an interesting topic. It's a real touchy and interesting topic that you just chose. I used to. I was doing actually a segment earlier today, and the term of felons came up as well. All right, cool. So there's definitely a delay. So I'm gonna talk a little slower.
Okay.
When I did the segment earlier today, it came out the term of felons as well.
Okay.
And the first thing we got to understand is this: a felon can be someone who did a minor crime, but still was considered to be a felon.
Right.
Then, of course, you have the maximum fine felons that are completely way above what the law is considered to be safe.
Okay. That's a good point. Yeah, you know what? That's a good point of the level of felony.
That's why they have so many different categories of A, B, C, D, E, and F felons.
Okay.
So, like for example, I know someone who is a felon and was allowed to have a firearm.
Okay.
Because the DOJ allowed them to have it.
Okay.
Yes.
You know, I know a guy who had his restored. From gun charge. I'm not gun charges, but he had from drug charges. But he had to go through the process, but he got his restored. But this was a while ago.
They classified his felony not to be what they consider a infringement to society.
Okay. All right. I get it.
Okay.
I get that. Yeah, this guy he was I wouldn't say he was a dangerous criminal, but he had a lot of drug charges.
Right.
So that's why, and then he was probably the first person I ever heard actually get their gun rights restored, and this was a while ago. I didn't even know at that point. I was young, and I didn't even know that.
So I agree with you. If they serve their time and their felony, well,
yeah, I don't. Yeah, I just.
Well, I could put it like this: my nephew.
Yeah, I don't think my Yeah, I don't know.
That felony was not a danger to society.
Okay.
Give it back to them.
Oh, okay.
My nephew had something similar as well. He had two felony charges against him for possession of marijuana.
All right.
And they gave him back his gun license in Pennsylvania.
All right. I'm making it a little bit better.
So I really think it depends on the level of the felony.
Okay. Yeah, I don't like I look at it from a constitutional part, and I always look at it like, okay, yeah, I get the part that they're.
You got me on the big screen now.
Yeah, I'm
You got me on the big screen.
Yeah, I look at it from a constitutional perspective, and I just with me with government wise, I just don't I feel like y'all are elected officials, so y'all should not have that position to be able to say what somebody can and cannot have. Thanks, Chris, for real. Hey, look, hey, I'm getting education right now. I blame it on the city of Philadelphia public school system. I don't care. But that's where my stance is at. Is like I seen how government has been doing people, and like all right, let's look at the situation with Trump. Like the situation with Trump, where they was basically trying to create felonies for him to have.
Look, each one teach one. Every little bit helps. Oh, he done lost it now.
When they were trying to, basically create felonies for him, and this is why I just feel like the government has too much power, because they can turn around and twist anything to make it a felon, and have and minimize your rights or take away your rights to be able to keep and bear arms at that point. That's why I just don't trust government.
Right.
Yeah, brother, we got a delay, but that's all right. We're gonna figure it out after a while. Yeah.
Listen, you're right. And the worst part is that all the laws get passed between the hours of 2 a.m. and 4 a.m.
Oh wow. Yeah. Now that's when everybody's sleeping. They get away with
even down to how they try to trap Trump in. They knew they weren't going to be successful. It was just a whole big old smoke screen to try to slow down the process and try to scare the voters and voting for Kamala versus him.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I get it. But it was I don't know. But see, it's things like that that make you not want to trust the government. That's the reason why I like that Second Amendment and the way they wrote it, is because it is that very thing like that. Because I know people that go through the system and say, "Oh, they gave me some trumped up charges," and laugh at it when they say they gave me some trumped up charges. They not legit. And now you got a president who basically went through the same thing, which honestly a lot of black guys say they went through the same stuff as they're being trumped up charges.
Because, again, one of the worst things is that when you look at how the system is made, or designed rather, many of the laws are put into play to stop the law-abiding citizen, not the criminal. And even when the criminal does come to play, the criminal is going to pay as much as he or she can, and those politicians that are involved are going to accept the money and let that criminal go ahead and do what he or she needs to do, because they supply the funding. At the end of the day, regular citizens have more of a struggle, but they have more to lose. At the end of the day, criminals are criminals, whether you're a legitimate criminal or a criminal.
Okay. Yeah, I get it. But well, I look at a lot of politicians as criminals. I can't help that because I see the how they do slick stuff to pull off the stuff that they do, and they're not really doing anything specifically for the citizens of America. They doing it to line their pockets and basically getting away with it.
Let's look at. Well, hold on now. Watch this one. Yeah. Oh, this is true. Yeah, that's a bad delay. No, I agree with you. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I can tell you like this. I'm not sure if you remember when we was on the phone the other day about how I was talking about this one specific politician, this one mayor that I knew all the dirt that he was doing. Okay, and everybody's still voting him in, even though he had all that dirt.
Yeah, you remember
And
that.
the most of the money that he wound up winning in his campaign, it was to pay off all the people he borrowed money from, because he was not going to be able to get in there by himself.
And I remember the conversation we had. Definitely, that's that's crazy. Yeah, I don't That's why I just don't trust government, and I feel like they should have I honestly I like what Trump and them is trying to do to give them the right of passage to be able to restore their gun rights. Do I think
And what's funny
everybody?
is that this topic here that you have, it's a good topic. It is a very good topic.
Yeah, I don't think everybody, but I'm not sure. I can't. I really, honestly, I'm leaning probably towards. I don't think everybody. I think that there is some mental aspect where you got to say, okay, this person is too far gone. Maybe we shouldn't. But that's still a kind of a gray area with me, because I just don't trust government. And yes, I'm working around the delay.
Right. Well, we got to remember the government was created to create a smoke screen anyway. So no matter how you look at it, the smoke screen's always going to be there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all good. It's all good. This is a learning process.
Yeah. I agree. So we gonna have to That's why I don't like to set up situations. Yeah, I don't.
I mean, look at this like the other day. The other day there was a segment came in the other day where this fella jumped out of his vehicle at a protest, and at first he didn't have a firearm, but then he went right back to his truck and got the firearm out, and all of a sudden everybody started filming again.
So he looks like the. How did that get escalated to the firearm? Or they didn't show that part?
Because he got headbutted by one of the protesters. Well, they showed it. They showed it. Yet even the person in the car in the vehicle with him had their phone out recording it.
Oh, okay.
So who's to say it wasn't a setup?
Yeah, you might be right about that. You might be right. But yeah, it's I don't know. I really feel like this is a conversation that we probably need to have a lot more often. I think that people need to be more educated in of why we have firearms as opposed to just.
Look, one thing, Brother Ron, you know.
Yeah, top to bottom here, top to bottom. You're absolutely right. That's what they
Comments
want.
got it.
Yeah,
The comment got you. Got it good.
yeah they. That's exactly what they want. They want us to look that people that are
To fit the
MAGA look like
scenario
they
that MAGA people are unstable gun toters.
right. That's what they want to make it look
That's a
like.
true point.
But my thing is this: is that they say that, but if you look at the Democratic side, they're the ones killing everybody. That's what all the killing is doing. And the Democratic cities like Philadelphia, Chicago, has more gun violence all the time. But ain't no MAGA doing that.
Yeah. True that. And again, that's systematically designed that way.
Oh, I agree 100%.
That's the unfortunate side. It's
Yeah, you're right.
systematically designed that way.
Yeah, I agree. That is exactly what they want, is to make it look like, because if they can get people to put down their guns and put down their weapons, it's game over.
Now the other thing, this is why they want to hold. That's why they want to hold so many people unaccountable for the weapon.
Yeah. Cause I had a conversation with some family members, and they were talking about white supremacy.
I would suggest that people who don't really truly understand gun laws, take a look at the movie called Civil War.
Yeah, I might have to check that out. Civil War. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. Um, I remember, this is why I put emphasis on this, because, and back to what I was saying about the family members, they were talking about
blow your socks off.
Like they were talking about white supremacy, and they believe that white supremacy, and I said, well, if you felt,
I'm curious what your people said or believe against you.
Well, yeah, they was like, they said, well, white supremacy and racism and stuff like that. And I said to them, I said, none of y'all really believe in white supremacy. And y'all don't believe the racist stuff that y'all sitting here at this table telling me, because if every last one of y'all believed that, y'all would right now be preparing for the possibility of white supremacy coming to your home. But none of y'all making preparation for that. No one does stuff. It's one thing to say it out your mouth. Your actions tell you what you believe. And if you really believe that, why would you let the government tell you what you can and cannot have? As opposed to preparing yourself for what you think the possibility of it might happen to you. And I laugh. I said, because if that's
right, I couldn't disagree with you on that one.
I laugh at
And then you got to ask them this question: are they ready to be oppressed?
I can tell you right now, they ain't ready. I can guarantee you that if something was to happen and kick off, they'll be all probably trying to figure out where I'm at. If that type of stuff was to happen. Yeah, we know it. Yeah, it's a delay, but we're going to be good. We're going to work around it.
Probably.
We're going to work around it.
Probably.
But, man, it's good to have you on, man.
And We're gonna work around it. That's right.
Yeah, we're gonna work around it. It's all good. I mean, this the first one we got the chance to do together. So
You
yeah.
know, I really think. No, listen. I'm honored to be on your channel, brother. I really appreciate the invite. I really, really do. And I'm gonna and I'll tell you like this: when you have some extra time, that's right, that's right, that's right. This is the first one, and many more to come.
Exactly, exactly. Mike in the building. What's going on, man? Yeah, I had to. Somebody had to be the guinea pig. So, so we volunteered you.
We'll we'll do another collab when you're ready. It's all good. I don't mind.
But I made it a point. I said, you know what? If you come in, I'm gonna figure this out while I'm live, and it's gonna be what
Let
it's
me
gonna
try
be.
this. Let me try this way. It is because I am sitting in Nigeria, and the delay is because I am using the mule and the camel and the gopher to run in the wheel so I can get the electricity.
And now y'all get to see what I was talking about. Hey, look, man. I thought I was silly. You know, but yeah,
The monkey is on top of my house with the aluminum paper looking for the satellite. Just bear with me as the delay continues. But as long as you can see me, we are good.
you survived the monkeys. I think the monkeys are up there monkeying around, not actually fixing anything. We are the
Yes.
only two people that
Hold on 1 minute. Maybe I need to talk to my friend Fernando. Oye, Fernando, oye, güey. Ve a buscar la culebra y dale una tequila si nosotros para subirla, venga.
I have no idea what you're talking about, man. I don't know nothing you say. I speak English. That's it. I can throw in the accent, but I can't do nothing else.
Look at.
I had a feeling that was gonna happen.
Okay, let's try to reel this one back. As far as the gun control goes, look here. Hey, Joyce, very appreciated you joining us.
God bless you, Joyce.
Don't mind the delay or the squeakiness. It's all about the hamster in the wheel and the llama trying to pull on the wires.
Just in case, Joyce, you're just coming in. We're trying to figure out how to get monkeys.
This is a topic that many people will not understand.
Go ahead, bro. All right, I'm a willing it. to be serious.
Look here. If that was the case where everybody was look here, look here. Let's remember there's that I know of.
Okay.
There are several states that allow you to carry openly. There's a reason for that. Look here. We can't be serious.
We're trying. Now I know Pennsylvania is an open carry state. I have my license to carry, but I know Pennsylvania, I think Delaware is too. But this concealed carry in the Pennsylvania is honored in like 32 other states.
We trying.
I know we are. We're trying to be serious. We're trying to be serious.
A good laugh in between is good.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Well, George, you get to experience the first time we have someone else on the line.
I believe like this. If everybody carried a firearm, think of this for a quick moment. It'd be much more serious for people to understand why they need to be protected.
I agree. I agree.
And I'm grateful for it. I'm honored, and there's not many words I can say that have this moment.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. Me and my oldest brother one day had a conversation about
Let's not forget how a lot of times there are a lot of people who get a firearm to give themselves a sense of bravery.
yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I always tell people that when you get a firearm, you need to get your mind right. Before you even get a firearm, get your mind right. Because I think because on the flip side of what you're saying, when someone gets, in my opinion, and sometimes when you get people when they get firearms,
That's right.
they sometimes they think that they're tough. It makes them a tough guy to some extent. And I know you were talking a little more differently, but I know sometimes they think it makes them into a tough guy. Me personally, like I have firearms, and sometimes I have my concealed carry license. But even me, in some rare occasions, I feel like maybe today is not the day to have it with me.
True.
Yeah, I don't, and that's why. But on the flip side, I think more so. That's why I think when you're younger, you should be educated more what is really there is to have a firearm before you get the education.
That's why your mind's right. Because at the end of the day, it goes like the old saying was many years ago.
Yeah, I feel like the younger generation should learn the right way before they get into this. Oh, I want a gun. I want a gun. But what happens is that they learn the wrong way and they out there using it the
Many
wrong
years
way.
ago, it says, if you not willing to take it out, don't flash it.
Exactly. Because you never know what somebody else has. Yes, top to bottom. Yes.
Yeah.
My
Let's not forget how this is true, or where their mentality's at.
Right.
That's why responsible gun owners understand the concept of not always flashing their weapon.
Right. The last thing I ever want to do is have to pull out my firearm for any reason at all. but the knowing that it's there just in case does give you a sense of security.
True. And we also have to understand that we have to understand or get an idea of the other person or the person that's in front of us, how belligerent they may or may not be, and what level of capacity are they at. That's why one of the things that I learned in the world of psychology, when you confront somebody who seems a little unstable, you always throw a question at them that's going to flip their mind right. So if they're all agitated, you turn around and simply say, well, are you going to tie your shoes? Or do you know what color is the shirt you're wearing? Throw them something, throw them off.
Yeah, that actually that ain't a bad idea. That ain't bad. That's actually good. That's good advice. Great advice. I agree. I think that's great advice. I had a conversation with somebody that was talking about if somebody comes up on you with a firearm or whatever case may be, and for me, let's say someone comes up with a handgun and I'm looking at the handgun and they're attempting to do something to me. The first thing I usually try, in my thought pattern, is look at if they have a gun. Hopefully, I recognize the type of gun. Hopefully, I recognize whether they can have the safety on or off. If they happen to have the safety on, maybe they're not actually. They might not be at the level of I want to hurt you. The other thing is, the more educated you are with firearms, you can kind of dictate where that gun is. If it's in their hand and they're ready to fire, shoot at you, how they're holding the gun. There's a whole lot of factors in there that can kind of help you along the way. Because sometimes people pull out a gun, but they might not be ready to shoot that gun yet. You know what I mean? So the more you know about the functionalities of a gun, the more you can kind of grasp what's actually happening in the moment. They might be sitting there and ready to shoot, and then you see the safety is on. You say, okay, that brief moment of that safety being on tells me that they don't know what they're doing, or they really might not at the point where they want to take me out.
That's right.
That gives you a fighting chance. That's why I think that most people should be extremely educated on how firearms work and what the functionalities of it, because that moment, that education alone could save your life.
Right. Yeah. 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 You're absolutely right. I agree with you 100%. Even down to knowing what kind of firearm is in the other person's hand.
Right.
That'll tell you too.
Yep.
Because they may not even know what they have in their hand.
Right. Between a revolver
And most
pistol.
And most people that have a firearm like that illegally, they're trying to shoot sideways. And we all know you ain't shooting sideways.
Yeah. So that tells me they really have no idea what they're doing.
I mean, that's right.
They really don't know what they're doing. Yeah, top to bottom, I agree with you. Gun education should be a requirement. I agree with you.
And that's where the benefit comes in as well. Like you said, knowing,
right, no,
and being educated,
right,
it helps a lot. It even helps to downgrade the situation.
Yes, yes. Education, as far as gun education, I think if you're going to own a firearm, you should educate yourself wholeheartedly. When when people ask me, like, let's say somebody asks me, like, a lot of times, like, I got a lot of females in my family, and they'll ask me, they'll suggest what type of firearm should they get, right? And I always tell them, I use the same
Yeah.
firearm. I was like, get you a Smith and Wesson shield. It's a shield. They make different ones, but I'm gonna say shield. And the reason why I usually tell them to get the shield because of it's one of the easier ones to do. I would say maybe get you a 380 shield or 9mm shield. Because that gun, the way they designed it, it actually helps educate you on how to use it. Case in point is that there are features on that gun that makes you grab it tighter if you're going to fire it. It also has an indicator on it to let you know if there's a bullet in the chamber. It has a glow in the dark feature on there, and it's easy to rack.
Correct. Yeah.
Which, if you don't have a whole lot of good hand strength, it's easier to rack that gun.
Right. Right. Yes. Could not disagree with you. You're right. That's right. That's why my missus will have a 380 Heckler Koch.
Okay. Yeah, I educate as much as I can with firearms. Anybody as I can, and I take pride in that. I don't care if somebody asks me, I'll give you
Now,
that
as far as
much as I
me
can.
and us together, we're not even going to talk about what we have.
That's what's up.
And this is where it's a good idea on what you're doing with this topic.
Yeah. I don't want being gun ownership to be taboo in any community, but I think in the black community it's a lot more taboo than there should be. Yeah, I don't know.
And it's unfortunate that it happens to be
What's
just
up,
one
Bag
class.
God bless you. Welcome in, 66.
It happens to be the black neighborhoods or the black communities getting the bad stereotype
Yeah,
of a weapon.
I agree. I agree. If you're on this live, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Bad Go, how you doing? God bless. He said no Glocks. Here's the funny thing. I have no Glocks. I don't have no Glocks. I said I ain't gonna.
And it depends on the state.
Yeah.
I don't like Glocks.
Well, I have never shot one, so I don't know.
like Glocks at all.
I've never shot one, so I don't even know.
Glocks are notorious for jamming.
No, okay. I've heard that many a times, but I don't have none.
I have.
Yeah, I never shot one, and I don't know, but I heard that they were notorious for jamming up. That was the reason why I never bought one. So I just stayed away from them for that reason. But I like my Smith and Wesson, and I like my Ruger.
And And why would you want to have a weapon that jams?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes two of us.
If I want to jam, I'm gonna go to a party.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then I'll keep the DE nice and quiet.
Oh man.
You want to jam, go to the party?
I want to jam. I'm going to a party. I ain't going.
You know, I gotta say this though. If we, I'm sure that the next segment on this topic is going to be a whole lot of people in there,
Right?
And they're going to have a whole slew of information.
Yeah, I agree.
And you talking about party? That's going to be a real good party.
Yeah, I agree. But like you said, this early in the game, I feel like what as we had these conversations about guns, I know Sunday, this Sunday coming up, probably I'm gonna probably start talking about the stock market a little bit on Sunday. I'm not 100% sure of that, but I got some stuff I got in my head that I want to get into. I had a few people mention to me about people that was on my live was like, asking me a little bit more information on what I do. So I said I'm think Sunday I'm probably going to set aside and actually go, kind of like how you and your wife did the tutorial of how y'all, the product and how to go through your y'all website or whatever case may be. I'm going to do that when it comes to investing and how I invest. So this Sunday, I'm going to probably get a detail of what I do. Not suggesting people what to buy, but just how I do it. Now, Joyce, I agree with you. That was usually the case. But I grew up in the city of Philadelphia, and if you would have had a gun in the back of your pickup in the city of Philadelphia, you wouldn't have came back to a gun. It'd be gone. You would have.
Ooh.
That would be nice if you could be like that.
Well, I grew up in the Bronx, New York. If you come through with a rifle on your window, the vehicle and you will not continue driving anymore. That's how bad it was in the Bronx.
Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. But yeah, I'm gonna this Sunday, I'm gonna go through what I call my way of investing is broke man investing. That's the way I call it. And I'm gonna go through detail by detail of what I do. And it's not to tell you should do it my way, but I feel like it won't hurt to at least show up. It wouldn't hurt to at least give y'all a detail of how I invest. It doesn't mean you have to do it my way. It don't mean my way is the right way. I mean the only way. It don't mean that I have a better system than someone else has. It's just the way that I do it. And for somebody that don't have a whole lot of money to work with and they're trying to get into investing and they want to be able to work at it on a small scale, this is just how I did it. And I'm gonna go detail by detail Sunday. At 11:30 is when I do that live. And if y'all want to join in that day, I would suggest that y'all come in, and if you want to get some information on what I do and how I do it, I'm gonna get very detailed about it. And I usually don't talk that detail, but this Sunday I'm gonna put a lot of detail into not what you should buy, but just how I do it in detail.
Well, can I get in on that?
Yes, you can. So if you have any,
So I tell you what. Since you want to do it at 11:30, I'm going to set up my system, and you're going to be able to stream it off your YouTube page.
Okay.
But we'll use my platform.
That's fine. It don't matter to me.
The reason why I asked that is on my side, I can actually put a third window up, and we can have conversation about looking at the actual stock market while it's actually happening live.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, I know. Well, yeah, we can do that. I know Sunday is not going to actually be open, but we can still go through details of of that anyway. But we just won't see no movement because the market will be shut down by then. But yeah, I'm good with that. Now, the people that's in the live, um, you might want to bring your notes.
I like the idea.
You might.
I want you to teach me your tricks so that I can be a little bit more successful at what I'm doing right now. Oh my goodness. Why are they climbing? Why are they climbing?
But we'll yeah, we definitely Sunday we'll figure it out. Does 11:30 work for you?
Anytime works for me.
All right, all right. But yeah, we'll get into that.
I want to learn more as much as you got as much information you have. I want to learn it.
Yeah, that's cool, and I'm that's definitely cool. We'll make that happen. We definitely gonna make that happen this Sunday. And if you guys anybody y'all know that might be interested in some form of investing, here's your, let them know. Yo, I ain't getting in the middle of that one. But yeah, that way we can get into it and we can talk about it. But I know that there's a lot of information you probably have that I don't know too. So we definitely can get into it and we can have a conversation about it and get a chance to educate each other. But I'm not gonna hold you guys. I'm not gonna hold y'all too long.
Not when it comes to stocks.
Okay.
Definitely appreciate that one.
Yeah,
but I'm sure you have more knowledge in stocks than I do.
yeah, Joyce, you better get that candle. Yeah. Joyce, I don't know if you know, I done bought quite a few things from them, and I'll be honest with you, I'm very happy with the products I got. I'm dead serious, and I'm not even joking about that part. You know, I mean, but the products that I have, my hair stuff, I love it. It works well for me. My skin stuff,
That's
it
what's
works
up.
well for me. I'm very satisfied. So Joyce, when you go in there, you know, you might want to check it out. And that candle that they sent me, the one that I won, she's almost gone. We've been burning that candle, and I can easily say we got well over 20 hours of burn time with it. Yeah, I think we got easily over 20 hours of burn time with that little candle. It's still going, but she's almost out. But yeah, yeah, I'm not gonna hold you guys
Yeah, burn
long.
time 20
Right,
minutes.
I'm gonna get up out of here and you guys know, like I always say, if you don't have God, you don't have nothing. Make sure you guys have
Brother
Jesus.
Ron, I'm gonna say like this. This was an honor to be on your channel live, not Memorex, presenting my funny face and my funny styles.
Yeah, I want you to be yourself. Definitely be yourself. The energy is good. I like the energy. I definitely like the energy, and I think we will get into this a lot more definitely. And it's a beautiful thing. Yeah, but outside of that, we're gonna get into a lot of stuff, and we'll be able to do some more videos together. But yeah, I'm gonna get up out of here, and God bless every single one of y'all. Jay, brother Jay,
Moisturizing wax. I
I
think we
know
might
I
have
seen that
passed.
too,
I
right?
missed those.
Uh,
Woo.
and but brother Jay, I appreciate you, man. Appreciate your time. Everybody that's in the live, appreciate y'all coming in. Appreciate y'all spending your time with me. I know everybody's time is valuable, so I don't take none of that for granted. Just make sure that Sunday you come in the live. Make sure you have your paper, your notes, whatever you're going to take, whatever you're going to do. Notes you're going to take. The other thing I would suggest that if you know somebody that may be interested in investing, may be interested in trying to find an easy way to get into the stock market, a sensible, easy way to do it. Maybe y'all might want to get them to come in then, and it might help them. I'm not, it might help them and get them along the way or whatever, get them to get started. So if y'all get a chance, please, talk to your friends, family, whatever. There might be one in the live they might want to get in. They might want to come in and check out. And that's for real. But with that said, I'm going to get up out of here. Brother Jay, appreciate you. Joyce, top to bottom. Chris for real. Mike in the building. All the people that's been on the live, appreciate y'all all. Appreciate y'all very, very much.
So as Ron was saying, with that being said, I'm out of here.